Yo, what is up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Jeremy Kennedy versus Matt Bessette at Bellator 253. Now, this fight is a featherweight fight. Jeremy Kennedy, he is currently 15-2. Matt Bessette, 24-9. They're both a top-tier featherweights. Jeremy Kennedy is currently ranked 78th at featherweight worldwide. Matt Bessette is ranked 126th at featherweight worldwide. Now, Jeremy Kennedy is 28 years old. Matt Bessette is 35, almost 36 years old. So there is definitely going to be an age advantage for Jeremy Kennedy in this fight. Also, Jeremy Kennedy, 5'11" tall, has a 71-inch reach. Matt Bessette, 5'10" tall, which is 1 inch smaller, and has a 70.5-inch reach. Now, there currently aren't any betting lines for this fight, but if you look at those Tapology predictions, out of a very small sample size of only 153 votes, 86% of the votes are going for Kennedy to win this fight, mainly by unanimous decision. Some people think he's going to win the fight by knockout because he has very good power in his hands as well. 14% of the vote are going for Bessette to win the fight, mainly by unanimous decision. Alright, so Jeremy Kennedy, 15-2. If you look at this man's record, he's been in so many amazing promotions like the PFL, Brave CF, the UFC, the BFL. Those are the main promotions that he's been in his MMA career so far. Now, at the beginning of his career, he started with a decision win, a second round knockout, first round knockout, first round Peruvian necktie, second round rear naked choke submission over Andre da Silva, unanimous decision. And then that next unanimous decision was actually against Alex Ricci inside the UFC, followed by another unanimous decision over Ronnie Jason, and a unanimous decision win over Kyle Bochniak. Now, after those 3 wins inside the UFC, all by decision, in his next fight, he ended up fighting an absolute beast, and you guys might know who I'm talking about, because he is the current UFC featherweight champion, and Alexander Volkanovski, but that ended up being his first ever loss, as he ended up losing that fight by second round TKO. Now, after that loss to an absolute beast in Alexander Volkanovski, he came back and outside of the UFC, got a first round knockout over Daniel Pilo, a knockout over Murat Magomedov, but in his next fight inside the PFL, ended up fighting Luis Rafael Loriento, who currently is 34-1, lost that fight by head kick KO in the first round, and then most recently came back with a decision win over Steven Seiler, and he rematched Luis Rafael Loriento to win by second round TKO. Alright, now if you look at Matt Bessette's record, he's been kind of up and down through his career so far. He started back in 2007 with a guillotine win, lost his next fight by split decision, came back with a second round rear naked, a second round knockout, lost his next fight by guillotine choke in the third round. Came back with 4 wins in a row, 2 by decision, 2 by guillotine. Lost his next by unanimous decision. Came back with a unanimous decision in Bellator. Left Bellator, lost a third round illegal up kick. Got him disqualified from that fight. And then came back with 3 decision wins in a row. One of those wins coming inside of Bellator. Then got a first round knockout, split decision win. And then ended up fighting 2 pretty good fighters in Daniel Weichel and Scott Cleave. Lost both fights by unanimous decision. Came out with a second round TKO, a second round knockout. Then fought Lenny Wheeler, lost that fight by first round knockout. Came back with a first round heel hook, a first round triangle, a second round TKO, a first round guillotine, a second round heel hook, a third round knockout over Kevin Kroom, a second round TKO over Ray Trujillo, and then got a shot on Dana White's Contender Series where he ended up fighting Kurt Hobla, who he ended up beating by first round knockout, but the fight was ended up getting ruled a no contest. But he still got that shot inside the UFC where he ended up fighting Enrique Barzola, but lost that fight by unanimous decision, and then had one fight on the Ultimate Fighter 27 finale back in 2018 against Steven Peterson, which he lost by split decision, and then left the UFC where he got 2 unanimous decision wins over Tim Dooling and Charles Cheeks III. Alright, so, both of these fighters are definitely top-tier guys. They've both been in some very good promotions in their career. Jeremy Kennedy, he could very well be in the UFC right now, climbing up the rankings. He went 3-1 inside the UFC with his only loss in the promotion against Alexander Volkanovski. This dude, he's absolutely insane. All of his other wins, most of his wins, have come by either knockout or decision. I'm not really expecting a decision or a submission in this fight. I would not be surprised if Jeremy Kennedy gets a knockout in this fight, but I'm really thinking that this fight's going to go all the way, and it's going to be a dominant victory for the younger fighter in Jeremy Kennedy to win this fight by unanimous decision. Alright, guys, if you agree, disagree, or have something to say, make sure to put in the comment section below, and I respect to every single those comments. Make sure to like, subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss the absolute best MMA content out there. It's been fun, but I'm out of here.